So for case studies, I wrote a case study is a detailed, in-depth study of one group or event. So for case study, that means you need to go in deep about the world, what has been written about an individual or about an occurrence or what something that has happened, an event. So that is what a case study is.
Yes.
Like what we saw here is a case study. So case studies, this can involve many methods or combination of methods, either quantitative or qualitative. It depends on you. But it's a case study. So the story is there, the note is there. So it depends on the kind of information you need to gather, if it is qualitative or quantitative. So what are the strengths about case study? One, case studies allow different aspects of the case being studied to be explored using appropriate methods. As soon as you get the case study, it depends on you to look at the kind of method you want to use and what do you want to find out. Are you thinking about qualitative or quantitative? If it is quantitative, you get it with the case studies because you will see different time these events occurred. And if it is qualitative, you will get it based on the opinions said about each participant.
So with case study, you can achieve what you want.
Yes, you can use different methods that is appropriate to what you want to achieve. So it depends on what you are looking out for. Right? So it's a case study. So everything is set. So now you just have to pinpoint what you need to know.
Yes.
And what kind of method would make you to get what you need to know. That's about case study. That's an advantage to you. Yes or no? Because you are not restricted to one method. So it depends on what you are looking out for. The second point. Case studies can provide a deep and detailed account of the case. It's a case study. So it will be in details. So you might not need to even make research further. Do you understand the point?
Yes.
It's a case study. Everything you need to know is already there. You just have to figure it out. That's the point there. You just have to figure out what is needed.
Yes.
The third point, it may allow a wider conclusion to be drawn. Because it's a case study, you'll be able to come up with different conclusions, different summary. Oh, when this happened to that, this was the reason why this happened. Then this happened again. That should be the reason why it happened. You would know. Because each case study has its own paragraph. You will be able to conclude for each paragraph. Which means you can have a wider range of conclusion. If you study it well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So you need your expertise to understand the case study itself. So you won't give different meanings to different things. Clear?
Yes.
So what are the problems about case studies? One, the findings cannot be generalized as it can only apply to the case. Each case is different. You cannot generalize. That's the problem about case study. The case is for certain event. The case is for certain individual. So how do you generalize it? You can't. So what happens to you might not happen to me. What happened in event A might not even happen in event B of the same kind of event.
Mm-hmm.
What happens in your sport day will not happen in the sport day of another school. So that means you cannot generalize. That's the first problem.
Yes.
So it's more like you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
Did you get it? Number two, the findings cannot be replicated. You cannot replicate it. You can't. Because it's basically on what your thoughts at that point in time. So the next situation you're going to be might not come up with the same situation you were the last time you checked the case study.
Yes.
So you can't replicate it. The third point, it's a case study. That means you have to be deeply involved. Yes or no? And as soon as you are deeply involved in it, you might be influenced by your own feelings. Oh, this happens. Oh, now you having feeling for that individual. You feel emotional for that individual. Then you might be influenced to give analysis based on how you become emotionally attached
So it's going
to
to
that.
be invalid.
Yeah, it becomes invalid because you become subjective.
Yes.
Do you understand? So why are you subjective here? You are subjective because you have to get involved in it. But getting involved in it, you should do it neutrally. But if you catch up with an emotion with it or feelings with it, your research might become invalid because it lacks objectivity. Is it clear?
Yes.
So that's about case studies and experiments.